So the first thing we want to do is let's introduce everybody. So we're going to start up top with our amazing cosplayed friend.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ellie, or Elbel here on Twitch. I'm excited for some spooky creepiness.
Spooky creepiness. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. And then below me in the purple shirt is...
it's pronounced Spoopy, and I'm Laszlo. Hi, everyone. I am playing a character to be named later.
To be named later.
And it's kind of the extent of it.
Nice, nice, nice. And then below him in the bluish shirt?
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
Yeah. Yeah, I play, my name's Danny. I play Darundal, the Dampier Ranger. Trevor actually talked me into playing a Ranger, so kudos, Trevor.
He is a salesman.
I am a salesman by trade. Perfect,
I wondered
perfect.
if that's where it came from.
It is. And then all the way down at the bottom in the black shirt and the headset we have...
Hi, I'm Wes. I'm the corpse dancer in chat, and I will be playing Xiv, the large individual.
The large individual, and we'll find out more about Xiv as we get going. Okay. Also, quick note that tomorrow is Danny's birthday. So, chat, can you give him birthday wishes? Happy birthday, Danny. This is a birthday game. I will try not to kill you. Or maybe I will.
Yeah.
So, happy birthday to Danny. Early birthday. All right. So, with that, because we have 2 new players that did not watch the prologue because they didn't want to get everything, spoiled.
That's not true.
Oh, you did watch it. You did watch it. All right, I'll do a recap.
I didn't.
He did. So here's what we're gonna do. I am not going to do a full recap. Okay, because Ellie is going into this fresh. She doesn't know, so we're gonna keep that. I will not do a recap of the prologue. If you haven't seen it, you can find it on our YouTube page. There's a link down below, or you can actually command. I think there's a YouTube command I set up. So you can go find it there. You can also find us on podcast. All these episodes will be uploaded onto Spotify, iHeartRadio, just about everything. And then we'll go from there. All right. So what we're going to do tonight, as we dive into our story, one thing that we're doing is that chat, you will actually be a little tiny part of the game, of the story as we get started, because the story does not begin in Ravenloft. It does not begin in the Domain of Dread. It actually is going to begin in Waterdeep, in a familiar place. And where we're going to start now is we're going to start at the Trollskull Manor, which we see in front of us. The Trollskull Manor is a haunted establishment that's been turned into a tavern / dinner theater. And the owners of the establishment have hired a world-renowned bard to come in and begin his residency here to tell spooky ghost stories. And people are coming in to hear this world-renowned bard tell his latest epic, and that is where we begin. So everyone in chat tonight, you will actually be the audience members as you are now in Waterdeep. So welcome, come on in, as you have traveled to have dinner at this Trollskull Manor. And you are greeted by Lujong, who is a very large orc. Half orc. He's very finely dressed. Let me pull up Lujong for everybody here.
I miss Lujong.
Don't we miss Lujong? All right. So here we have Lujong, and
Is he still working for the Street Sweepers Guild?
No, he's moved up. He's an owner. He's an owner of the establishment. So. Welcome everybody. Come on into the tavern. Thank you so much for joining us. Lunchbox, I see that you're here. It's good to see you again. Come on in and grab a seat. Who else we have? I see we have Ghost. Welcome back. I have your seat up front, as well as Sleepy and Sunshine. Who else do we have? Anyone else here have reservations tonight? Let me go through and see. Oh, John, I see you in the back there. John Liver. Very good. Very, 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 very good. Well, everyone go, please. We have everyone's orders. Sub, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Come on in. We have your seats ready. Also, we took the recommendation of the chef tonight, so we'll be serving the fish, and we also have a good elvish wine to serve with it. Now, if you would like, you can also talk to your server about getting our ale as well. But come on in, let me get everything ready. And now as everybody comes in and sits among the troll Skull Manor, we are now going to transition to the interior of the tavern itself. And as we enter, we hear tavern music. We hear some bards playing in the background. I think we will. There it is.
Him, the enchanter in the foreground?
Yes.
You're a busy man.
He's a busy man. Welcome, everyone. Come on inside, and thank you so much for joining us. I need to go and get our performer for tonight ready. Please, come on in. And he reaches over, and he grabs a note, and he goes, I want to make sure I get this right. Tonight, we will be, the story will be told by this, the magnificent and marvelous Marcus Madmore. So please, give a hand to our friend Marcus as he comes out. And our resident bard comes out, and a very finely dressed individual comes in, very, very renowned. People have heard him, travels around to here, and the fact that he has actually taken up residency here to tell his new tale is a very big deal. So everyone comes in, and he comes in and walks around, and he greets everybody, and he stops, and he says, well, thank you all so much for coming. And before we get started, and he looks back at the band, he goes, no, please bring it down. And he orders the band to stop playing this music, and it stops, and he goes, now, as everyone has come in and got seated, if we can, please dim the lights. And I want to remind everyone that the story that we're telling tonight is not for the faint of heart, and it's actually a story that, I must be honest with you, is not one that I simply conjure up of my own imagination. Nay, it was told to me by another individual, but that individual is now in the land of the spirits. A ghost told me this story, someone who actually saw these events take place. So tonight I will be telling you this story, and he runs up and he begins to cast a spell, and then all of a sudden, as the lights are dimming, you start to hear this very soft theme being like kind of coursed out of his magical abilities as this again comes out of nowhere. And as this music starts to kick in, he goes, yes, that is much better. So now, as we begin to tell tonight's tale, I remind everyone that this is not a tale of the faint of heart, and if anyone, if it's too much for anyone, please go see the exits in the back, but I will try to tell it as truthfully and as honestly as I can. And as he goes up, he pulls up this magic orb, this crystal ball, and as he begins to kind of summon this little like cloud above it, he goes, our story begins tonight in the wood of this domain known as Vanatar. And as he does that, this orb grows and grows and becomes large and large and large, and everyone here begins to peer into the darkness of the fog, and you see this forest peered through into, and we're now looking into the forest of Vanatar in one of the realms of Ravenloft.
I love this music.
And as we see this very dark and haunted wood, we the first image we see is this full moon, this cast lighting through the shadows of the clouds. We see these trees that are just silent, but there's a very faint clouds as they come in. There's a little bit of mist and rain kind of coming through, and all of a sudden through the sound of the music and everything, we hear tumbling footsteps of someone running and dashing through the wood. You hear heavy breathing and panting, and as someone is just darting through the wood. We see an image of this female running through the wood, darting back. You see her look over her shoulder in fear and terror to see if something is chasing her. We hear the sound of roars of these monsters, these roarous monsters coming in from the background, and the music it dies down, and this other music, this more terrifying music, picks up as we look down and we see this individual looking around, trying to find out who or what is hunting her. Ellie, would you please describe your character?
You see a 5-foot slender woman standing there with a long black velvet cape, a big black skirt, tight corset, very Victorian. But you look into her eyes and you can almost see haunting. A veil covering her face. And is definitely spooked, but doesn't seem as spooked as maybe a normal person being chased through the woods would be.
Now, as you're running through the woods, now you have a rapier. Do you have it out, or is it still in your hilt?
It would probably still be in its hilt.
All right. As we see this character running through the woods, and she's looking around and darting, one thing that everyone notices is that she's actually covered in blood. It seems to be splattered onto her as she's looking about, and she's looking to see what it is in the distance that is chasing her. She looks about, and the caravan that she was a part of is being ripped apart in the distance. We hear this roaring happening in the distance. These monsters and these multiple howls, as it sounds like a pack of wolves going around and just tearing through this caravan. We hear the screams and the lament of everyone in the background who's just being slashed to pieces by whatever it is that's out there. And here she is, like torn off into the woods, looking for shelter, and also frantically looking around for anyone that she may see. Your traveling companions, they all seem to be gone. What is it that you would like to do?
I would be looking for a very specific traveling companion.
Okay.
Someone that has not left my side in quite some time.
So, interestingly enough, you were riding together in a carriage, and whenever this monster came out and attacked your stagehand and just ripped him to shreds, the carriage itself was broken from the weight of this. It splintered. The two of you tore off into the woods. You ran as fast as you could, and you turned around, and that person was gone. Now, we'll pause for a second. Not so far away in the wood, we have another individual walking through the woods. And what we find is we see a larger individual with a giant coat looking about and trying to see, what's going on. It is lost in the woods as well. We see just the back of him, this very large individual with a little bit of blood hanging off the side of his jacket as well. Laz, please describe yourself.
What you see is this head coming out of the coat is this strange reptilian face as he shambles through the wood, and he's got around his belt, he's got these couple of large kind of packs at his sides. He's a very large thing, and the bulges in the sacks appear to be books. You can tell from the shape of him, and he's just has some leather bracers around his wrists and his ankles, as well as he glares around, searching for his companion.
As you're looking about, in the distance, you hear all through all of the roars and everything, but you hear something else. You hear the sound of feet tearing through the woods as well. Give me a quick perception check.
A perception check. Let's go like this.
Switch over so I can see. A 19. Not only do you hear another set of woods of footprints tearing through the woods, you actually know, you can pinpoint with your keen turtle ears the direction that you need to go to find these footprints that don't match everything else. Footprints that you are familiar to.
I'll chase off in that direction. I imagine that's where my companion will probably be heading.
You run through, and as you break through the woods, you still hear the howls of wolves and the roaring behind you, but you do see your companion, who I did not show the image before.
You did not?
I did not. So you see your companion running through the wood, caked in blood, more so than you are. It seems like she took the brunt of the blood spray of your poor stagecoach companion. But you see her in the wood, and at this point, you two are reunited, far away from the assault that's happening on the caravan, but not too terribly far away. What would you like to do?
Are you all right? Did you see what happened? I missed it. I rushed off as soon as he tore into that stage.
A wolf attack, from my perspective. I think I couldn't quite see, but you're okay. Do you need healing? Is everything okay?
No, I'm quite fine. I'm quite fine. You're covering a lot of blood. Are you all right? Hopefully not your blood.
She looks around and Everything seems to be fine. Thank you.
Just another one for the books, then, I suppose.
Another one for the books.
Well, what now? Do we make our way back there? Which direction do we go?
I think we should avoid whatever was attacking us. But yes, we still need to find Miranda. We have to find this lady to pass on the message that I heard. It's as per usual.
Well, I suppose I know a thing or two about wandering through the wood. Maybe I can find us a path.
Make a survival check. Make a survival check, Mr. Torval. 18! Nice! He's coming in rolling
I told you I was
hot.
good at it.
He's rolling hot.
This guy questioning me.
That's it. All right, so you have traveled a good bit in this region, and you know that you're about halfway between Zondale and your destination of Verone, which is a small hamlet that you're traveling to. And you look around, and you know that you're not that far away from the beach, and the beach would actually take you pretty good ways closer to the town itself.
I'll convey this information to my companion, and we will make our way in that direction.
As you make your way through the woods and start heading to the beachhead, Ellie, your character in front, as you're looking about, one of the things that you see piercing through the trees as you break out of the major wooded bank, you see in the distance what looks to be a light rotating in the distance, the sign of a lighthouse on the coast ahead. You look up and you see that, and it kind of gives you like a glimmer of hope of, hey, there's some type of civilization and possible refuge as you are making your way out. But one of the things that as you're making your way and you see that hope is quickly like dissipated as you hear the sound of this roar coming in the distance, this massive roar that seems louder than the yelps and the calls of the wolves that you saw.
Did you hear that? There's still something in these woods. Baka, did you hear that?
I didn't hear a thing. I must have missed it. I listen a little more closely.
You do hear the distant roar of a giant something rushing through the woods. It seems to be getting, while it's still distant, it does seem to be getting closer.
You're right. We should probably pick up the pace. I'm trying to hustle there a little quicker.
So as you take off and go through beachhead, you look about, and what you do see as you get to the beach, you see several rocks across the beach itself. In the distance, you see what looks to be a crashed boat. Probably old, but you still see the tattered sail upon some rocks up ahead. And in the far distance, you do see this lighthouse that's giving this light, this glimmer of hope. And as you are now on the beach itself, as you're walking through, you do hear what sounds to be like wolves getting closer, as you can hear them kind of scurrying through the woods behind you. And it's at that point, Baka, you look forward and you see a very large individual walking out of the ocean, and is just like, looks like he has tentacles or something, but as you get closer you see that it's just massive seaweed that is all over a very large individual, bigger than you.
I wave to him, and I want to see if he waves back.
Wes, describe your character.
What you see before you, drenched, is a 7'5", 400-pound man wearing a leather duster and will probably be normally very formal clothes, but they're completely drenched. Long black hair just hanging over his face. Looks kind of like something out of The Ring. You can't really tell too much other than that. Very pale. And he waves back, and he says, "Hello."
Well, hello there. Out for a little bit of a swim.
More of a walk.
I can see that. You'll need to be careful. There's some wolves out here. They causing all sorts of trouble.
I'm gonna stop and look around and be like, Durandal? Durandal?
You look behind you, and coming out of the surf as the waves are beginning to crash onto the beach, you see just behind you, probably about 10 yards behind you, you see your friend Durandal coming out of the surf as well, throwing his hair back as water comes out. He's not quite as tangled up in seaweed as you are. He was able to kind of deftly swim between it, where you just kind of trudge through it on the bottom of the ocean floor. Danny, describe your character.
He has an elven look to him. He has black hair like Wes's character. Kind of paler skin. He's wearing black studded leather. He carries a short sword and a bow, and he has these green eyes. Quite the dapper looking fella.
There we see Durandal. You didn't pop. Oh, there we go. And there were you.
So these are the two individuals that are coming out of the surf. The larger individual, again, just covered in seaweed. The other just coming out of the ocean with his dramatic hair flip.
I believe I swallowed too much seawater because I think I'm hallucinating. I see a 6-foot turtle in front of me. What did...
It's a turtle. Turtle, actually.
Turtle, yes. Yes. Way too much seawater, yes.
I want to look down to Durandal and be like, I cannot believe those men threw us off that boat.
Yes. You were unexpected cargo.
I apologize for this inconvenience. I never meant to cause any trouble.
Oh, no trouble. No trouble.
Now, the two of you, Ellie and Laz, your characters are seeing these people for the first time, and the thing that really takes you back is this giant, monstrous man is very well spoken and kind of carries himself like a gentleman. It's very odd.
Can I do an insight check on both of them, please?
Yes, you may. $12. Under the circumstances, they seem to be. They don't seem to be brigands, which was your first thought. This is your first time really this far outside of in the wild, and as you're looking around, you were expecting them to kind of jump at you, but they didn't. So you're wary. I wouldn't say trustful. You're still wary of them.
But they don't look like they're there to harm us.
No. It seems that maybe their situation is just as precarious as yours.
Well, I suppose there's safety in numbers. If you can follow along with us for a little bit of a ways, all I ask is you tell me a little about yourselves. Share a story or two.
Baka, you're so trusting.
I'd just like to be a little friendly, is all.
Where are we going?
Can I do a survival check to see if I know where we are?
You don't have to. You know this area. You know the lighthouse that you're seeing in front of you. You also find it odd that there's light coming from it because that lighthouse is out of working order and has been abandoned for quite some time.
Curious. I do know this lighthouse. We could find refuge there. However, it is odd that it is lit. This is a defunct lighthouse. Seems someone has taken up refuge.
We can walk with you to the lighthouse, but we are looking for a specific person and we're quite on a mission.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we don't mind at least escorting you that far, and then we'll be on our way.
As said, safety in numbers.
Well then,
Thank you.
after you.
So
Up
the
to the
four of
lighthouse.
you begin walking down the beach, kind of walking 2 by 2. The two don't trust the other two, and it's not. It's very unusual to kind of just find people out in the wild. But you make it towards the lighthouse in the distance, and As you get closer to the lighthouse, you do see this ship that has been wrecked on the ocean. It's still like kind of kicking up on the ocean itself. It looks like it's been there for a long time. The wood in the distance, as you can see, looks rotted, and it's just kind of the remains of a ship. Most of it has already been washed away. And as you get closer, Darundal, you're kind of in the front as you're looking about. Give me a survival check.
All right.
22 is your survival check. As you get closer, you're looking for tracks because you believe that this lighthouse has been abandoned and defunct for years. And as you get closer, you don't see any tracks moving to it at all. And I mean, you spend some time looking about. You don't see anything that would tell you that anyone has walked near this lighthouse in the last week or two.
Well, friends, this is odd. There were no tracks, but there's obviously something that has been there. Be wary.
Can I do an Arcana check, see if there's anything magic about it?
You may. 11. You look across the lighthouse itself, and as you get closer, there is something that feels a little bit familiar to you, as if maybe there's spirits here that are uneasy.
There's something in there, but I don't think with us anymore. I think it's moved on. But it's definitely still there.
Should fit right in. Right.
Should I go in?
By all means, I'll follow you.
So we're making our way to the door.
Okay.
Estelle would look to what Baka is doing.
I'm still just standing out of the front of the path. Just kind of curious of what these two are up to at this point.
As you get closer to the lighthouse, Estee, that's how you say your name, right? Estee, is that correct? Did I ruin it?
I just said Estelle, so
Estelle. We're changing
Let's
it.
go with Estelle.
Estelle.
We're changing it.
Let me make a note.
New characters.
New character.
When you're writing it down, it's spelled with a 3.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
All right, so Estelle, as you get closer, that gut feeling that you had earlier is realized.
I didn't walk up. I didn't move forward. If Baka didn't move, I didn't move.
I think everyone
They
is
moved.
slowly moving forward. You get half a step closer, and you realize that this place is in fact home to something, but not something living.
I wouldn't go in there, friends.
Oh, okay.
Whatever's in there is not living anymore.
Undead.
Sit and wait.
So what is the
waiting for? Exactly.
Let me time out for a second. So I'm guessing Darundal and Xiv are closer to the lighthouse, and then Estelle and Baka are further back. Is that correct?
Yeah. The idea was that we were going to escort him over this way and then kind of carry on, but kind of interested at this point of exactly what these two are up to and what they're going to do if there's something in there. So we haven't moved on just yet, but we're
Baka,
at the front of the path.
While you are interested, you look back and you're curious, and you do still hear the howls, and it is possible that you're still being pursued.
Well, friends, it looks like it's either wolves or whatever's in there.
Choose your adventure.
So, what do you think? By the look on your face, I don't really want to go in there.
Yeah, but I don't want to fight those wolves again, or at least run away from them. How far away from the town are we?
Probably half a day.
And
Suppose we
looking up into the mist-filled sky. What time of day does it look?
It's hard to tell. Night lasts unusually long. It seems to end when it wants to end.
We do need a safe place to at least rest our heads if we're this far away from town.
I suppose so. If you think that's... I know you get me kind of worried about going in these places, and then you just encourage me to do it anyway.
I mean,
You know you make a habit of this.
yes.
I would be more than happy to go first if you would like me to.
That
Perhaps
actually,
I might be able to sneak up there and kind of look in the windows.
You know
We
what? I
can-
think that's a great idea.
we can have your back, and if you would like
Okay.
to go ahead.
In
we will
case
abandon
something,
you.
in case something goes wrong in there, I never did catch your names.
I am Darundal.
Nice to meet
Durandal.
you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Baka.
I'm Xiv.
Ziv. It's an interesting
Lovely to
name.
meet you.
He gave it to me.
Hey,
He gave it to you.
Yes,
How do
to
you-
Randall.
how do you spell that exactly?
I don't know, Durandal. How do you spell that?
Xiv.
Man, that doesn't make a Z sound, does it? I suppose it depends
With
on the language that, you know, if
With
it-
Xerox and xylophone, it does. Yes.
Oh, I suppose you're right. I suppose you're right. I take that back.
Xenophobe.
That is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you were having this conversation about how to phonetically pronounce Ziv's name, Durandal, you notice two things as you're having this conversation. First, your ears, your half-elven or elven ears, kind of pick up the sound of these wolves that are moving through the woods. The other thing that you notice is that these people were covered in blood. Esteel is like sprayed with blood, and there's still some on Baka as well. And this makes you curious for a few reasons, but it is something
Yes.
you definitely, as you've gotten closer to him, you notice. You also notice that there seems to be a weather system seems to be moving in.
Like rain, storm.
Something's coming in from the ocean. Maybe a squall. Something a little worse than rain.
I'll just relay that to them. Seems we have a bad spot of weather on the horizon.
We should probably
It
make a
might-
decision then.
Inside
It might be able to
is.
wash off the gallons of blood you seem to be coated in, of which is not yours.
As I spoke earlier, the wolves are quite vicious.
Yes.
The
Honestly,
ocean
I'm
will
getting
wash
tired
it
of all
off.
these different reasons I need to go in there. Seems like these reasons are just piling up, and I don't want to go in this tower if it's haunted, but I suppose I'm going to have to at this point.
I'm gonna go up to the windows and look in. Where's the lowest window?
So there is the window is boarded up on the first floor, and then there's a second, and then the third floor, which would be the top. So there are windows open, and you see flickers of light coming out of all three of the windows.
Okay. I'll go up to the first one. How high is it up?
Give me a stealth check as you go forward. 16. A mighty stealth check. You definitely and quietly move forward as you kind of look over your shoulder. You see your companions behind you. You get close to the first little window that's all boarded up. As you look through, the light seems very odd to you. It was there, it flickered, and then it moved. And now it's not there. Now you can still see on the inside. It looks completely over. No one's been in there for a while. You see cobwebs, you see dust. It looks completely undisturbed, but the only thing that throws you is the moving light source that you saw.
Okay. And it disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
The light source. Okay. I'm going to climb and look in the second window.
You very easily and deftly scamper up the side of the lighthouse with very little effort. You crawl up the side of it, and you look into the second window. Again, only moments before you got there, there was a flicker of a light, and then it is gone. It seems to be moving up to the 3rd floor.
Can I do this be like knowledge nature? Perhaps to know if I know what this is?
Give me a knowledge nature check.
All right, let me see here.
A 7. A 7. You.
I don't know what it is at all.
Nothing comes to mind that would have a floating light like this.
Okay. I'll go up to the 3rd window.
You
look in.
easily crawl up. Now, everyone else at the beach, you're looking up. He's very easily scaling the side of this with very little effort. He scampers up to the 3rd floor. He peers in. As soon as he gets there, the light that has been rotating up top stops and goes dim and is completely out. The light has completely dissipated from the entire tower. And there's no sign of anyone up here. Again, you're looking at the floor and the dust is undisturbed.
Okay. I'll scamper back down and relay everything.
Now, as you scamper down, there is a small building that beside the lighthouse that you look. It looks to be some type of like a forge. Looks like they're made for horseshoes or something. It's long since been. It's not in use, but this looks like the remains of what it was.
Okay. I'll point at it. How far away are they?
20 yards, 30 yards.
Okay, I'll just point at it and be like...
As soon as I see that, I'll walk that way.
Okay. So Xiv begins to walk up. Is Esteel or Baka going to follow, or are you still staying back?
Before we move anywhere, if they've moved ahead, Estelle pulls out a little bit of her hair and hands it to Baka.
And he tucks it into his pocket.
Ooh, that's interesting. I like it. All right, so now with that, what are the two of you going to do?
Do we follow?
Let's go ahead.
Follow ahead.
Okay. You two continue to move towards and get into the lighthouse itself. Now, at this point, Estelle and Baka, you're still kind of standing back. Darundal, you're up front. Xiv, you walked all the way up front at this point, just kind of looking into curiosity. There's no light emanating anymore from the lighthouse itself. All you hear now is the waves crashing, the storm that seems to be rolling in, and you look back and you do see the light of lightning as the storm comes through, flash across the beach. You do see what looks to be something scampering down the beach, pretty far back, but it seems to be very, very far in the distance at this point.
I'm going to point that out to everybody else and say, does anyone know what that is?
I assume it's a friend of yours.
I don't have any other friends.
I can confirm he is friendless.
Darundal, you look over and you see about 6 or 8 wolves sniffing around the beach, pretty far down the way.
I think those are the friends that we made that are not our friends.
Oh boy. All right, let's get into this lighthouse before they find us.
Yeah, I say we hunker down.
And we go.
Okay. I'm going first.
All right, so Xiv, you get to the door. It's not barred. You can simply just kind of push it forward. Exactly how are you entering this establishment?
Well, I would push the door in first. And how tall is the door?
The door itself is about 6.5 feet tall, so you're gonna have to duck to get in.
I'm going to duck to go in. I'm going to just bang my head on the top of the door frame. And just be like, oh!
There's this loud thud as your head just hits the top of the door frame. The whole structure seems to kind of shift slightly as the massive weight of of your noggin goes across the top of the door frame. You do manage to kind of look inside, and as your giant foot, thunk, hits the dust, kind of picks up and just kicks around the floor as you're looking around the bottom of this this lighthouse that looks completely undisturbed. You see some broken boxes and crates. You see a table kicked over. You see the rags of what looks to be like a rug or something that's still laying on the ground. And then other than that, you see a ladder in the distance moving up to the second floor. And then to your left, you see a window that's been boarded up.
I'm going to say, hello?
Silence.
Is anyone here?
Again, silence.
I'm going to peek back to the doorway and be like, nobody's answering.
Yes, yes.
Well, let's head up. We'll see if we can find somebody upstairs.
So at this point, who is in the lighthouse?
I'll walk in with him.
I'd be standing at the door.
Okay,
Baka will
Durand.
go in. He clears it pretty easily, kind of snickering at Xiv, having trouble hitting his head. But then, like, this bolt kind of goes sideways, so he just kind of tries to squeeze in.
He has kind of going sideways to the door frame itself. You kind of squeeze in through the doorway. You kind of look around as you're looking at the inside of this lighthouse. It's dark. It's musty. There's a smell of mold. There's like water has leaked in here. And as you're looking around, it's kind of damp. Feels like home to you.
Excellent.
Now,
I'm going to take my short sword, and kind of lift up the rug and move it, like pull it back.
you lift up
Just to
the
make
rug
sure.
a little bit, and you do see a wooden trap door under the rug.
Curious.
Well, how'd you find that? How'd you figure that was there?
Rugs usually conceal things. A lot of times.
Suppose you're right. I never trust a rug myself. Always hiding things from you. Well, let's open her up. Let's see what we got.
All right.
It is
Ziv
locked.
knocked unconscious. Oh, there he is.
There is a lock on the trap door.
Estelle, can you manage to do anything about this lock?
I can try. She'll
Why don't you give it her a tinker?
she'll pull out her thieves tools and do a little. See, Trevor is frozen for me.
Oh no! All right,
Me
hold
too.
on.
There you go.
Am I moving?
I wasn't sure if he was still there because then I didn't hear anything and I was like,
I was moving so slowly, I was invisible.
okay.
All right, you can pull out your
sleight
thieves
of
tool.
hand
Give me a
check?
sleight of hand check to see if you can unlock.
That's a 14.
14. You very easily. It's an old rusted lock. You have to put a little bit of kind of grumph into it as you kind of like got to kind of and you pop the lock open pretty easily. Now it is unlocked, but yet the latch is still closed. Do you wish to open it or let someone else do it?
No. Estelle steps back.
Estelle stops and says, "My job here is done."
Yep.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I'll handle it from here. Baka will open her up and climb down.
You open it up, and as you open up, there's just like this dust kind of kicks up as you look down. Estelle, you immediately feel uneasy, and like the hair on the back of your neck kind of kicks up a little bit. That something is disturbed as Baka heads down.
Baka, I would just be wary.
Now, Baka, you're like you got half shelled down at this point. Are you gonna stop or continue going?
I'll go more slowly, as
All
if I had an option.
So you slowly go down. You look about. You do see it is a very dry bottom. As your feet hit the dust floor of what seems to be some basement level that you found. You see the remains of several skeletons laying down here. You also see a few different things. You see what looks like to be like a box and some just tattered things down here.
All right, investigation check.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
Sure. A 13.
A 13. By looking around the room, you find what looks to be under one of the skeleton's arm was holding a journal. A book was very interesting to you, so you pick that up. Buried about, 3 inches or so under, you easily, like your foot actually kind of kicked up with something that was loosely buried down there. You find a pretty ornate long box, about 3 feet long. You pull that out. You also look around and you can find the remains of 4 complete skeletons down here. So you find the journal and you find what looks to be some type of footlocker.
All right, how are the skeletons arranged? Does it look like the 4 people were just down here and may have starved to death and died, or
no? This looks like
are they all piled together?
They're equally separated around the room, as if maybe they were loosely buried here.
Okay. I'll head back up top. I'll bring the long box and everything and show my companions before I open it. Start leafing through the journal.
All right, so you have a journal and you have a long box. So you see, everyone else sees this turtle come up. He pushes this long box up. He comes up with this old dusty book, and he is emerged from the basement that Darundal found. So at this point, Darundal, what are you doing?
I'll just take a gander at the book, see what the last few pages read.
Now,
try to find the last few pages.
So you go to now. Baka's holding the book. You kind of move forward as you're interested in the book, but Baka, you're holding it. Are you going to let him look through it, or?
I slap his hand and I keep leafing through it.
Oh,
kind of give it one of those. Hey.
Is it a language you can read?
It's a good question. Is it a language that I can read?
It is. It is written in the common tongue.
Okay.
I'll read a few passages for my companions so they have a.
So as you open it up at the beginning of the book, it seems to be a light keeper's log of passing ships. It is signed by someone named Ezra Durant. And Ezra was the light keeper of this establishment, and it's basically a logbook. There are a few journal entries about, supplies coming in from Verone and news from and he's also chronicling the movement of the mist as it moves past this cove. But then towards the end, there's something that kind of is bothersome. He talks about his failure of not manning the post and the ship crashing onto the rocks and many souls dying, and he feels that he was at fault for that.
Shame he feels like it's his fault, because it probably was.
Wasn't paying attention. Okay.
Is there a date on there?
The date, it reads 1830, which would be 8 years ago.
She's just looking around. She would probably not be acting much. Just continuing to look around, see if she can sense where spirits are from, if there are any around her, if anybody's saying anything.
You do sense the presence of a spirit.
Up or down?
It was up, and it seems to be in the room now.
Behind? Can I sense a direction?
Give me an Arcana check. 5. It's all you know is it's close. Is there anything that you want to do to try to contact the spirit?
No.
No.
No,
I'm good.
No, she normally waits for them to contact her.
Gotcha.
She doesn't reach out.
Baka, may I look at the box?
Sure thing. Just give her a little opening up.
Is it locked?
No, it's not.
I'll take it gingerly and crack it open.
You gingerly crack open the lock box, and inside you see something that somehow you know what they are. Darundal, you look down and know there seems to be a set of dueling pistols inside the box.
All right. Some Barry Lyndon action going on. Dueling pistols. I love it.
Are they ornate or are they practical?
They seem to be rather ornate.
I suppose if you're going to kill each other, might as well do it in style.
I'm going to lift one of them up and see if it's loaded.
Neither are loaded, but there does seem to be a pouch with some rounds in it. And the box is dry. Everything you would need to operate it seems to be inside the box.
Now, in this area, are we familiar? Like, I don't know if guns in Ravenloft or whatever.
I think it's a Victorian era style, so steam.
So everybody's kind of fairly familiar with them.
Right.
I want to inspect them for any engravings or anything written in the box, or
You look through. You don't see any engravings in the box. You do see what looks to be like a maker's mark on the pommel of each of the pistols.
do I recognize it?
No, you don't.
Well, Baka, it seems to be you're the owner of 2 pistols.
Oh, excellent. If I knew how to use them, they'd come in real handy.
I want to pick them up and just see if I know how to load them, like instinctively.
We need an after-school special about pistols here. This is going from...
So here's the thing that's interesting. It's possible. Just give me a straight intelligence check.
This is how Baka died.
12.
You know what they are. You know how they operate. You're just not exactly sure how to load it. You don't even know how you know what they are. You just instinctively know. Oh, you know what this is. You just don't know exactly the functionality of it.
I'll look at them and realize I don't quite know how to do anything with them, and then I'll gesture to hand the box to Darundal.
Do I know how to use these things?
Yes, you do. You're quite familiar. Esteel, you are also quite familiar with these. They're a pretty common use where you were from.
Okay. While all this was happening, I would just speak in my mind to Baka and say the spirit's in the room with us.
And Baka will get a little more on edge, and kind of his eyes will be wandering around the room.
Now, you don't sense that at all. And that's something that is a mystery to you, that she senses and knows things that you just don't. Which is strange, because you know the arcane, but this is something different.
Sure. And having known her for as long as I have, I just kind of take her word on it at this point. I know I'm not going to be able to sense anything, but...
Now, Darundal, you look up and you see them kind of staring at each other, oddly.
We don't have to stare. We would fully,
well,
by this point...
he would notice, based off of what...
Okay.
What
he
Baka
knows
just said.
he's standing a little weird.
Baka's kind of looking around
kinda
the
weird.
room.
Is everything okay, friend?
Well, remains to be seen.
Our unseen friend, I think, is with us
Oh,
in the room.
yeah.
When she says that, Trevor, do I see any...
No.
Okay.
Wonder
It's
if
all
this-
right to speak, friend.
Persuasion check?
That's a +7, sure.
What is it?
27.
27! She rolled a natty!
This thing is like when I was 7, I fell out of a tree and broke my arm. And then when I was 8, I had my first crush. Yeah.
Here's my life story.
Stop reading my diary!
So, this image on the far side of the room starts to come into play. You start to see it as it kind of like manifests. You see chains coming out of this spectral form and holding this lantern. As you look and you see this light emanating from the lantern. Now, the only person that sees this is Esteel.
Have I seen something like this before?
No. This spirit seems to be especially tormented. And it is kind of hovering and holding this lantern, and you hear this voice go, "What are you doing here?"
We saw a light. We've had a hard travel and are seeking a safe place to rest for the evening. Is that here?
Is she saying this out loud?
Yes.
I would have to be. I would
Right.
imagine.
So she's having a one-sided conversation.
I'm gonna look around the room and be like, I'm gonna look at Baka and say, is she talking to you?
She's not talking to me, no. Looking right at him.
Okay.
You hear a voice reach back. Ships coming in the night. The reef is dangerous.
It's very dangerous for us to travel at night as well.
Oh, never mind.
Is anyone
Yes.
saying anything else, or is she just having this conversation?
She's just having that conversation. We can't hear a thing other than her.
I'm going to slowly back away from her.
Thunk.
On each of the beams. Thunk.
Thunk.
And Baka gives Xiv just kind of a wink. A nod.
Ships coming now in the storm.
Can we do anything to help you?
Help me light the way.
How do we do that?
You see this image just hover and just disappear into the floor above you, into the ceiling above you.
And then I would quickly turn to everyone in the room. From my understanding, I think this is the Lighthouse Keeper, and I think we have to help him get to peace by helping him with his last wish of lighting the way for ships. He's gone up, and I would follow very quickly.
All right. When she starts heading up the stairs, I head up as well.
I'm assuming that I can't go. Like, is this a ladder or is this stairs that go up?
It is a ladder, but the latch, you could reach up and grab it and pull yourself up. Like, they could scamper up. You could just reach up and just pull yourself up.
I'll take the box with me and just kind of.
Well, you stand on the box is what you're doing?
No, I'm taking the box as I climb up.
Oh, the dueling pistols?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so everyone goes up to the second floor. As soon as everyone gets up there, Estelle, you see that the tail of this thing move up to the third floor. At this point, there is no ladder to the third floor. It is just open space. There, you can see the opening of where a ladder was, but it's no longer there. And you see this being move up to the top floor.
I could lift someone up there.
Please.
Okay, so
I'll just.
kind of hoof like alley hoop.
Ooh.
Okay, so you lift Estelle up easily, and she kind of gets to the very top. Estelle, you're up at this point, and you see what looked to be like this light, this defunct light that's out of whatever it is it needs. You're not really sure. It's not like something you would light per se. You're not sure exactly how it works, but you see that the specter of whatever this is kind of hovering around it.
Baka, do you have any knowledge of lighting magical things rendered?
Sure, I could probably figure it out if I could figure out a way to get up there.
Oh, here, and I'll just pick him up and put him up there.
You pick him up and you push him up there. As you
I
push,
weigh 450, right?
I don't think it's a problem. Give me an athletics check. Let's get an athletics check.
Danny, how do I say your character's name again?
Durandal.
Durandal.
That's a 20.
All right, without a problem, you're able to and lift up. Now I
Pretty
will
impressive
say,
there, Xiv.
Baka, you have never felt lighter in your whole life.
Not since I was a wee tadpole.
Yes. All right. So you make it up top. You get to the very top of the lighthouse, and you look down. And now, in your travels, Baka, you've been around and you've seen a few things, and you know that the invention and technology of this world is beyond the one that you came from. And you look down and you see like some type of wiring and things like this is some type of machination.
All right. Can I Arcana check, see if I can kind of figure it out?
Yeah,
or...
sure, go for it.
Yeah, all right. That is a 10.
Yeah, roll 20 to give me all kind of lag tonight. Okay. All right, you roll a 10, you look down, and you see that it just seems like it's... You could put some of the wires back together. It's just lacking... It looks like it needs some type of charge.
For the charge, can I prestidigitation that? As if I were lighting a torch?
You can. You use prestidigitation, and you create like this little spark. It lights for it flickers for a second and dies down, and you realize that you have the right idea. You need a little bit more of a spark.
It's kind of a continuous source, or it needs a bigger...
A bigger spark.
Are they saying anything?
You just...
Are you relaying any of this?
I would.
He's mumbling. It's probably mostly mumbling.
Durandal, where are you at this point?
I'll spider climb up.
Yeah, I would have called up for Durandal to join us as well.
All right,
And
Durandal.
Xiv,
Does this look like it would support me if I went up there?
Maybe.
I want to.
You pull yourself and you look up, and what you're looking at on Xiv, as you get to the top, you look at this is some type of electrical contraption, something that for some reason you know something about this from the machinations of your creator.
I'm just going to start speaking about capacitors and wires from out of nowhere, and I'm going to say, I think I have an idea. I want to try something, and I just want to grab the wire.
You grab the wire itself. When you do that, there's a charge in it, and you feel the spark. As you feel that spark go through, it jolts into you, and you kind of let go of it, and there is some power into it, and it seems to be coursing through you. Do you wish to try again, or do you want to do something different?
Nice work there, Uncle Fester.
I want to try to grab the wires quickly and twist them together.
Okay. You grab the wires, and as you twist them together, it charges. It also sparks you, and something inside you. You see this electrical energy kind of go through his entire body, and actually like chatter between his teeth as this electricity kind of goes through him. Xiv, would you roll on your wild magic table?
Oh, good.
I'll have to roll and then see what it is.
We're gonna pull a soot and be falling out of this.
Oh no!
Can I, do I have enough time to use a reaction and put my hand on his shoulder? Trevor?
Yes.
I'm going to do so, and I will cast Absorb Elements as a reaction.
Okay, you cast Absorb Elements as a reaction on him. What is a 6?
I can only cast it on myself. I can't actually cast it on him.
Oh no,
but,
then no.
Yeah.
I won't know.
Okay.
We'll save it then. Okay, so you think to do it, and you're like, oh wait, that's not actually going to work. Xiv, what's a 6?
Give me just a second.
You can go ahead and level your character up. It's fine.
Yeah, I did.
So our wild magic barbarian has just triggered his wild magic.
Ah, nice.
A bolt of lightning shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage. So I'm going to focus it on the light itself. No, I'm going to focus it on the light.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so it courses through you. This bolt of lightning comes out of your chest. It surges back into the lighthouse. It charges the lighthouse itself, and everything you hear this, and it starts turning. The light begins to pulsate around. As soon as you do that, Esteel, you look over. The ghost of the Light Keeper dissipates right before you as the light has come back on, and you have now repaired the lighthouse.
Nice. Man, that wild magic.
Beautiful work.
Thank you. Now we have to get down. So I'm going to lower myself.
You start moving to lower yourself down. Durandal, you look out in the distance and you see the pack of wolves is tearing towards the beach, towards the lighthouse. There's also a large individual seems to be running with them as well. You've now lit the beacon that tells them where you are.
And seems our pack of wolves is being accompanied by a large individual. Any ideas who or what these are?
If we stay up here, can they get us up here?
Can't climb as far as I can tell.
How high can a wolf jump?
You're 30 feet up on a tower.
Yeah, but I don't know. Who said that, by the way? I don't know how high a wolf can jump. I once saw a prairie dog jump about 10 feet in the air. A wolf is a lot bigger than a prairie dog.
I don't know how high wolves can jump, but we are on a very limited area here, and if we need to fight, we're in a bad place.
Yes, but do we have to fight? Can we wait it out until...
We could try.
Try and barricade the door? Is that what you're saying?
Barricade the door, stay up high?
Do I have time to get down to the door before they get there?
You do.
Is there anything to bar the door that I've seen down along the way?
You could grab, there's some beams and some tables and things you could grab.
I'm going to quickly make my way down with athletics.
Okay. You jump down to the second floor, which quickly breaks, and you drop down to the third floor.
Or
To
the
bottom
first floor.
The first floor.
Yeah.
It's either that or we face them head on.
I'm going to use one of the broken beams to, lay it against at an angle on the door.
Okay. As he is doing that, what is Durandal doing?
I'm keeping my eye on them, just relaying to them how closer they're getting. If I can still see them.
They're tearing across the beach. They're making their way to you now.
Okay. I'll be yelling down at him, like, hey, you've got about 5 seconds or 10 seconds, so,
Okay, so you're basically the eyes. As you're doing that, what is Baka doing?
I am casting Minor Illusion to make the door look like more of the wall.
Oh.
So they can't see the door from the inside.
Now, you'll have to drop down the first floor in order to do that.
That's quite fine.
All right, so
I will do so.
You scamper down, and as that beam goes in there, you're actually casting Minor Illusion to make the door look like part of the wall itself. Estelle, still on the top floor, what are you doing?
I'd be watching with Drandle.
So you're back up top with Durandal. Okay. As you're watching, you see about a dozen or so wolves move up. The individual that's running stops and kind of goes down to the ground as he gets closer and goes down to all fours. You hear this terrible like breaking and scratching sound as you see it just kind of transforms into this giant wolf man in front of you and howls up into the moonlight as he tears across and is getting closer to the lighthouse itself.
And I would know what that is.
You
Correct.
do. You know what that is, yeah.
Are you relaying anything?
Yes. I'd be saying there is a lichen with them. It's not just wolves.
As soon as she says that, I'm going to open the box and inspect the ammunition.
You open the box, you inspect the ammunition. It's in good working order.
Does it appear to be of any certain alloys?
No, just like an iron rock.
Okay.
I was like, that's so smart.
I was thinking the same thing.
All right.
I was like, that is so smart.
So, Xiv and Baka are on the bottom floor. Durandal and Estelle are on the top floor. The wolves are moving up and beginning to circle and howl and scratch at the outside of the lighthouse. The giant thing, the werewolf, runs, howls, leaps, and tries to crash into the side and scratch on the side of the rock to no avail. And then you hear on the outside a tearing as he begins to climb the bottom of the tower. And with that, we're going to roll initiative. And we're going to kind of keep this theater of the mind as long as we can.
Is there anything
All
quick
right,
I can do right before anything happens?
What do you want to do?
I want to rush to wherever the kitchen area would be in this place.
There's not.
Damn.
Give me a second for this to load.
I want to bring out the coil.
You bring out your maul, your Tesla coil maul. Let me get everybody on the map here. He was wanting a snack. Alright, so let me move everyone over to this.
Just so you know, Baka and Estelle, the weapon I'm fighting with is basically just a giant Tesla coil that I ripped off the wall.
Nice.
I love it.
So that's where everybody's at. Let me grab my monster. And like I said, we're going to keep this kind of theater of the mind until we can. Oh, man, I am getting crazy lag tonight. I'm just going to have them there for now. Okay. So we have a wolf. This is just so everyone kind of see where we are. You've got a basement, the second floor. You've got the two people down at the bottom floor. Let's go ahead and give everybody add some turns here. All right.
For some reason, Danny's initiative rolls in fractions. We're not really sure why.
Oh,
it's
I know
doing
why.
that.
It's a tiebreaker for the.
11.15.
I know what that is. It's a tiebreaker. Someone explained it to me. All right. So Baka, you roll a 3. Estelle, you rolled an 11, but Darundal rolled an 11 with a 15 dex. That's why it's like that.
Oh. I rolled 4.
I see.
I'm getting. This is interesting. We wanted to send your results to the turn tracker order, but no valid token was selected.
Yeah, you can just click your name and then manually add it.
Oh.
So I think the way it's designed is you should be able to roll it into there automatically, but we never use it quite that out.
That's cool.
Wes, you were going to the kitchen to get silverware, weren't you?
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
We can try shooting that out a gun. Why not?
I was gonna duct tape it to the Tesla coil.
Or
the
that.
cutlery.
Okay.
I'm picturing
So-
Ellie sticking a fork in a little blunderbuss.
So. All right. So here's what's happening right now. So the wolf man, the werewolf, is climbing up the side of the tower. It has the initiative. It goes first. It's going to scamper all the way up to the top of the 3rd floor. He gets up to the top, and he is now at the very top floor, and he is going to rear back and take a slash at Darundal. So he's all the way up top. Let me go grab my... Give me one sec. See what I rolled here. Does a 22 hit?
No.
What? No, I'm kidding. All right, so the 22 hits. He reaches out. He slashes at you. Take 4 points of slashing damage. Because of how far he moved, that is actually going to end his turn. But he reaches out and slashes across you. It rakes across your studded leather armor. He does draw blood as he pulls back, and he lets out this deafening roar. As he lets out that roar, I need the people up top, which is going to be Estelle and also Darundal, to make an intelligence saving throw. Check that. Make it a wisdom saving throw. I apologize. Reroll it. It's a wisdom saving throw. Darundal, you roll a 20.
I also rolled a 20.
You also rolled a
Jeez.
20. Both of you are immune to the roar fear of this thing. He tried to fear you with this giant roar, and you both pass.
Cool.
Which actually would have been under the madness table.
Ooh.
All right.
So there's nothing down where me and Baka are, right?
There's wolves scratching and trying to find the entrance, but can't seem to find it because it looks like the rest of the wall. They're sniffing outside the wall. And with that is Durandal's turn.
All right. First thing I'll do is summon my swarm
Okay, what does that look like?
bats.
All right, so all of these bats emanate from your body. They just like an explosion of these spectral bats come out of you and start circling you. Now, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna take a shot with my bow.
Okay.
Man, you were making that ranger sound real cool for about 5 seconds.
I got more. Let me see.
Which arrow are you using?
I'm using one of the plus
The
ones.
magic arrows? Okay.
Yeah.
I think you used 2 in the last one, so you've got, what, 3 more?
No, he retrieved them.
Oh, he did. Cool.
Did that roll?
It did. You rolled a 9, and that arrow sails off into oblivion.
Okay. Well,
Now, the swarm, does it attack even though you missed?
you have to hit.
You have to hit. Okay. So you shoot the arrow, the bats kind of follow the arrow as it goes around and encircles the top of the tower. With that, it is now Esteel's turn.
I'd like to cast Thunderwave and push him off the tower.
Ooh, yes you do. All right, so so the range on that is what, 15 foot?
15-foot cube.
All right, so you basically you can shift to not hit Durandal, and then
Perfect.
use Thunderwave. Now, what does it look like as you cast the spell? This is the first time that you've cast a spell.
Time to flavor it.
It literally looks like a giant pulse comes out from my chest. Just completely.
Now,
It looks like a force. Just
is there any,
wall of force.
Is there any like
Um,
implementation that you're using to cast it?
Oh, I didn't think of that. When all of this started, she would have pulled out her tarot deck and had it in her hand.
All right, so what does it look like when you use your tarot deck to cast Thunderwave?
It's just a complete wall that probably looks like a card. Whatever card is on top.
Okay.
And today
All right,
that's
so
the
you
death
flip a
card.
card and like slap it, and this giant wave of energy pushes out. All right. So you cast Thunderwave from your tarot deck. It's going to hit the werewolf. Now, what is my save on that?
15 Constitution.
Her secret is that it's always the death card.
Correct.
It is. He rolled a 19, so he made his con save, but I still take damage, correct?
On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 damage. And
Okay.
is pushed
Wow.
10 feet away. On a successful save, the creature takes half damage.
So 2d8 halved. Okay.
Seven.
7. We'll say it's 8, so 4 damage. Okay. All right. It takes that. You hear it like shudder back. It seems to hurt his ears as he kind of like pulls back away and roars. But he does not budge from the perch that he's at up top. Xiv at the bottom. What do you want to do?
How high can I leap?
You could leap up to the second floor.
I guess I could spend all my movement to just try to get up to the top.
You could spend your whole movement to try to get up top. But I'll need an athletics check.
Okay. 1 or 2?
Just one.
Come on, Solomon Grundy.
22.
Without a problem, you get all the way to the top.
Just
Oh my
bound up to the top.
Yeah, you bound up to the top. That is your turn. Baka, what are you doing?
I'm going to ready a spell for if these wolves figure out how to get into this tower. I'm going to blast them with it.
So you're going to hold where you are?
I'm going to hold where I am.
Okay.
I am where I am.
Nice.
They
not nice.
actually do sniff you out. They smell turtle, and they start scratching, and you see one of the wolves kind of breaking and tearing through the illusion. You see his head come out of... he's still trying to get through the beam that was laid there by Xiv, but you have readied your spell. There is a target now as the wolf head is kind of coming through the bottom.
I'm going to wait until a group of them are together. And
Okay.
then I am also going to cast Thunderwave. It looks a little different coming from the turtle, though.
Okay, we have Dueling Thunderwave.
Yeah, so he opens his spell book and it starts flipping through, and he actually opens it to a different page. And I'm going to use my subclass feature to change the damage type to acid, and we're going to play with an acid wave.
An acid thunder wave. So the scribe's wizard is going to cast an acid thunder wave. All right, so I've got to make.
It's
DC
15
is
for all of
13.
them, or 13.
Okay, there's 3 of them breaking through. I've got some serious lag. The first one fails. The second one fails. And the third one rolls a natural 20. So 2 of them fail, 1 of them pass. So roll your damage for the total, and then we'll see what happens.
That'll be 10 acid damage on a fail and 5 on a
All right.
successful.
So as you let out this acid, 2 of the wolves that broke through first take the brunt of the acid damage. You see this acid just tear across at them and just like melt their skin as they kind of like whimper and slowly dissolve into this puddle in front of you. The other wolf was kind of like blocked by his brothers. He only takes half that damage. It sprays across them. You just hear him like whimper as it burns. You see part of his eye kind of like melt under the force of the acid. But there's still one there, and you hear others circling outside. And with that, that wolf is pushed back. He's going to kind of reach forward and try to bite you. Give me 1 second. So 2 of the wolves died, of the 3.
Nice.
Good job.
I'm having all kinds of fun lag tonight.
They could be getting ready for all of the new content to come out
It
too.
could be. Well, it's also roll 20. It's a little bit of everything. Okay, so he is going to make his bite attack at you. Just trying to make sure I've got the numbers right. Okay. Alright, he leaps out with his bite attack, and he rolls a natural 20.
Y'all cheat.
He did this
That's
to us
4
the
nat
first
20s.
night, too.
Yes.
That's 4 nat 20 so far tonight.
You will take a mighty 8 points of damage from the wolf as it reaches up. It grabs your arm as like you've got the book in his hand, and it just clamps down, and you just feel like this sharp pain go through as this wolf is clamped down on your arm and is ripping your flesh. That's a lot of hit points for a 2nd level wizard to take. And with that, we go up top to the wolf, the big bad
Wait,
werewolf.
did you say 6 or 8?
8.
8. Got it.
8 total. He is going to reach forward and try to slash again at Darundal, who had just fired a bow at him. His first claw attack. Let's see what I've got here. I rolled a 23 total. Take 10 points of slashing damage.
This is not going well.
His second attack, he rolls a 7. After he claws at you, and you feel the claw rips across your cheek and rolls down your chest, he comes at the second one. You sidestep the second attack as he makes another slash at you. He then, as he's kind of stepped all the way on there, and the light is still like moving around, he looks and he sniffs at the air, and he looks over and he looks at Esteel. Darundal, it is now your turn.
I'm going to bonus action cast a spell.
Ooh.
Dex 13.
Dex 13. Okay. Let me see if I make it. I rolled a 5. So I failed.
All right. So his veins and his arteries, you see like turn like almost like a neon red as you can see the blood flowing through him. This is vampire fire, not fairy fire. Yes.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, so he's now emanating. You see his
With a
blood
heartbeat.
vessel- Yeah, you see the as he reaches out now. Everyone attacking it will now get advantage on the attack as that is hit. That's a bonus action.
Yes. So
Okay.
now I'm going to. No, I'm sorry. That's action. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah.
Does it deal any damage?
No. It gives
No.
everybody advantage on the attacks.
That's awesome.
But I will. Is that concentration? Yes. Okay. No, I'm good.
All right, so that's it. So you cast that. You basically illuminate the wolf as everyone now sees a clear target in the light. Estelle, it is your turn.
Baka, how are you doing down there? I would speak through.
That's
I
right.
forgot that you don't need to yell. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
No.
You can think it, right?
This thing's
She's-
latched onto my arm pretty good. He thinks in a country accent too.
She's used to it by now.
This thing's,
Um,
I'm okay for now. I'm not for much longer with this thing eating my
Now,
arm.
he's saying
as
this.
I'm
You hear
trying to
the
read.
as this wolf is like wrapped around his arm.
okay. I'm gonna cast. No. Seeing that my friend was beside me was hit, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds, and then I'm gonna bonus action Healing Word down.
Ooh. All right, so you reach over. Now, what is it? Does it look any different as you cast Cure Wounds? So you're casting Cure
It'd
Wounds
be
on
another
Durant.
card.
You just flip another
will
card.
psychically flip to the top. And
Okay, so
just
you-
as if
you-
it's in my hand.
You shuffle the deck, you pull another card, flip it up, reach over, you grab Durandal, roll your healing. It's a D8 plus your modifier.
D8 plus 5.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Wow.
D8 plus 5.
So that's 10.
10. So you heal for 10. The claw mark that just came across your face, it closes, and that recent attack is almost completely abated by the magic that you just received from Estelle. You also call down as you flip that card. You quickly flip a second card, or maybe you just turn that card sideways and cast your healing word down to.
I think she just has to literally have it in her palm, and it magically does it itself.
Oh, it just pops
it's as
up
if the
itself.
cards just pop up like a magician
Nice.
to the top.
I like that. All right, so now roll your healing word, healing
Which
down
is a
to
D4.
correct.
A 2 plus 5, so that's 7 to you.
Nice. Thank you.
Wow.
All right, so that's
healing.
10 points of healing to Durandal. It's 5 points of healing down to
No,
Baka.
7 down to
7.
Baka.
7 down to Baka. Okay,
Nice. Yeah.
To Baka.
Gracias.
To Baka.
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 Okay, and with that, it is Ziv's turn.
Well, it's time to let loose the rage.
Oh, what does it look like when you rage?
Well, let's find out. I'm about to roll a D8.
All right, so you get angry, you roll an 8, and
That's the beam again.
the beam. You rolled the same thing.
Well, I looked at the wrong thing the
Okay,
first
all right,
time.
it's fine, it's fine. All right, so the electrical energy that was inside you radiates, and that bolt of lightning again, that energy can burst out of your chest. Is that the one?
It does 1d6 radiant damage. If they fail a Constitution saving throw, they take 1d6 radiant damage and are blinded until the start of my next turn.
Whoa!
I can use this effect on each
It
of
rolled
my
a
turns.
it rolled a 17 on the Constitution, so it still takes the damage.
I don't think it takes anything if it saves. Yeah, it's just lightning emanates out of me.
All right, so you cast a light. It shields its eyes from it, but you are now raging, and that effect stays on you every turn.
Yep.
All right, so now you can run forward and attack with your giant broken off Tesla coil maul
With advantage.
And I
with
have
advantage because of the vampire fire that was.
And
cast.
I am also going to roar. I'm not going to be outdone by him.
Okay.
All right. So this is. Nope, not
The
not
3,
that one.
or thanks to the advantage roll, we get
A
a
10.
a 4. A 3 or a 4. So you miss. You run through and into you step forward. Right as you got there, the lighthouse light got in your eyes and kind of gave it off your swing just a hair. As you swing down, the wolf kind of jumps back. You crash into the floor itself, breaking some of the boards. The entire top of the floor is a little rickety now as you pull back the maul. And with that, we go to Baka. It is now your turn.
Is this thing still chewing on my arm?
It has let go and is kind of looking back. It's only got one good eye as its other eye's kind of like been melted away by your acid blast.
Any of his friends here?
No, they seem to be circling around. It's just him.
All right, I'm going to cast Magic Missile as a thunder spell. So little projectiles of just sonic energy are going to...
Roll your damage. Roll your damage.
3d4, right?
Yep. 9. All right.
Plus 3, right?
All right. So the first one hits it in the neck. The second one actually cuts through its rib cage and exits the other side. And the third one again hits the same area, just blowing out the side of the wolf as it just falls over. And as he hits the ground, there's still that puddle of acid, and you just smell like burnt, melting wolf in the puddle of acid below you. But you have killed all 3 of the wolves.
Excellent.
And with that, the wolves outside, let's see if they are trying to find you again. No, they cannot find you. They're still circling outside. And now we go up top to the wolf itself, the big werewolf, who lets loose a roar. After seeing Esteel let out all of the healing, he is going to jump forward and attack her. When he does that, Xiv will get an attack of opportunity.
Good.
So before he attacks, Xiv, make your attack.
26.
That's a natural 20.
Nat.
All right, so
Yes.
roll your damage twice.
So that would be 4d6 plus. Is it plus 4 twice, or is it? Because it's 2d6 plus 4. So what is it on crit?
You roll 4d6 plus 4.
14, so 17.
You make your attack. It bounces off his flesh.
I was afraid of this.
So
Okay.
your giant critical strike, you landed on the top of his head and it just bounces off.
Okay. His turn.
His turn. He will make a slashing attack at Esteel.
Okay.
12?
That does not hit.
Okay. 24?
That hits. Corset and everything. That still hits.
It's gonna hit everything. All right. Take 8 points of slashing damage. He goes to make that first attack. He misses that one. This second one almost hits your throat as it goes by. It cuts down the side of your chest, and he is, as he smells your blood, he kind of like lets out this giant roar again. And with that, it is Durandal's turn. Now, Durandal, you just saw this mighty blow bounce off of him. What do you want to do?
I'm going to, since he's right next to me, open the case and grab a pistol
Okay.
and start to load it with whatever's in there.
Okay. All right. So, no, wait a minute. Okay. So you're basically backing out of combat to load the pistol.
Yeah, see, he's right now. Xiv is right next to me, so I'm going to,
Take your
If he's
turn to pull out the pistol. And...
yeah.
Now, I will say this: you do have magical arrows,
Yeah. All right.
so you can do that. But you have fought things like this before. You know that your arrows you
Okay.
have will be true.
I was
That
thinking-
is character knowledge that you would know.
Okay. I was thinking silver. Okay. All right. Well, I'll take a shot at him then with advantage.
Yes. So you back off, you load your arrow, and take your shot. with advantage.
I can find it. There we go.
That's going to hit. You'll do 9 points of piercing damage. Also, would it let your bats flutter around? Your bats will deal damage as well.
Actually, I'm going to have the bats. He needs to make a strength saving throw of 13.
Okay. I rolled a total of 9.
Okay, they're going to carry him 15 feet off and then drop him.
So you hit him with the arrow. The bats go and lift the wolf up as it's like clawing at these spectral bats, and he drops 30 feet off the side of. We'll put him down over here, off the side of the ledge. With a loud thud, you hear it crack down to the side, buying you time if nothing else. But the wolf has been dropped because rangers are OP.
That
You
ranger
keep telling
ranger.
yourself that.
I agree.
All right.
It was at that moment that we all wished we had picked Ranger.
Forever.
This is a long-standing inside joke that I've always said that rangers are good, and the rest of the party has said no, they're not.
The rest of the world.
The rest of that is not true. That is not true.
Not true. There are people who love Rangers,
Right.
and we do not D&D
Now.
shame for people
There's
liking
no-
other
We
classes.
don't D&D shame rangers. But that was a very cool move. All right, so he is now off the side. Estelle, it is now your turn.
I will cast Vicious Mockery at him and say, "Good, stay down, dog."
I like
That's
it.
just
I like it.
mean.
What's my save?
15
Intelligence?
wisdom.
I fail.
So 1d4, and you have disadvantage on your next attack.
Ooh, that's really good.
So
And
that's
Mockery
7
was
damage.
vicious.
So 4 plus 3.
7 damage. That's very good. It's psychic damage too.
Oh, just 4. Sorry. There's no plus on that one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. All right. That does, you hear him like kind of howl and push back as you cast that. And now we go to Xiv. Now you're up top. You're looking down at this beast 30 feet below you. What do you want to do? Still raging mad.
Are there still other wolves out there?
There are, you see several wolves like circling about.
Is there a way for me to athletically get down or take a chance? Because I'm pissed.
You can jump on him.
You know what?
I'm down with that.
I'm angry. I'm going to try to do the old M. Bison stomp from above. Just
You gotta tap the knee and then come down on it.
Are you gonna wrestling off the top tower on top of the werewolf?
sure.
Do you have
He's on
something
the top rope.
magical? Do you have something magical? If not, take one of my arrows. We're metagaming, but
My magical is beating the shit out of it.
Right. So Durandal, you try to stop him, it's too late. He's midair with like the flying elbow. He's gonna macho man range.
All right.
damage
So what
off
am
the
I,
top of this.
athletics to try to take less damage? Or what?
First, make your attack with advantage because
Oh yeah, brother.
for many reasons. One, he has the vampire fire on him, but he's also because you have the high ground.
Well, not that one.
Not that one.
he still has
Over.
vampire fire.
12-ish?
That actually hits him. That does actually hit him.
Yeah.
Now make your athletics check to try not to break something as you fall to the ground.
Oh.
10. Oh, wait. I have a...
No, you do. You do have advantage on this. This is athletics because you're raging. He has advantage on athletics checks while raging.
Nope. All right. I'm going to take some damage.
So it was a 4 or a 1. Check.
Oh, I also shoot a beam of lightning at it as I'm going down.
All right, let me do this is your fall damage.
Bludgeoning?
It is. It's 9 points. It'll be halved to 4. You'll take 4. You're so angry, the 30 feet of falling, you just don't care. You land on top of him. The bludgeoning attack, you basically land on top of him. It doesn't really hurt him, but what does hurt is the light. That is something that could. So as you drop down on top of him with the light, that could actually affect him. What's the save I've got to make for that? Con save?
Constitution.
Okay, he passes the Constitution, but you're now down on top of him, kind of wrestling as you jumped and landed on top of this thing. So you are down there engaged with him at this point.
Heck yeah.
All right. So now it is Baka's turn. Now, Baka, you hear this loud thud just outside. It's actually right outside the door. You actually see the wolf from where you are, and then out of nowhere, you see this giant thing just thunk on top of him and kind of roll around. And now the two of them are kind of wrestling on the ground or attempting to try to grapple each other. But you see it. What do you want to do?
I hesitate for a moment because I'm not sure I want to go out there.
You got a clear sight.
But I'll go ahead and I'll cast Magic Missile again. We'll go back to the acid on this one.
All right, so this is you shoot these missiles through the little the cracks of the door. They kind of twist and kind of shoot through these acid bullets. Shoot through, land on the wolf, dealing damage. Roll your damage. It is a total of 8 points.
11. It's 11. Plus 1 for each dart. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so all that burns into him. Xiv, you're on the bottom. You see all these bullets, these acid rounds just kind of like burn into his fur. You smell that burning flesh. It kind of makes you angry all over again. But you see that it's actually tearing into his flesh. It is effective. And with that, it is the wolf's turn. He is going to roll over and try to bite you.
Roll over.
Does a 20 hit? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Got them cheat codes going again tonight.
I did get them cheat codes. All right, so you're only going to take 5 damage, piercing damage, and that is half, so it'll be round down to 4, so take 2.
Are you even trying?
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Can
he looks too happy about this. I don't like it.
Can a reborn be
Darundal, it is your turn.
Oh, good God. Okay. Well, okay. I'm going to shoot at him with advantage.
Oh, my God. All right, shoot him with advantage with your magic arrow.
God. About to have to fight both of them.
23. That will hit, so another 9 points of damage.
Right. And my bats are going to swarm down there and take a bite out of them, too.
Okay, and how much does that do?
They're nibbling.
We'll take it. It does affect him.
You know what?
That is hurting him.
The saving throw for the beam is not 13.
Wait. Remember, he had disadvantage, too. Because of Ellie's
He had
spell.
disadvantage on his next attack.
Was that the bite attack?
It was. I would have hit either way.
I tried.
I would have rolled a 17 to hit. Okay, so either way he hit. All right, so you shoot the arrow. The magic arrow pierces his skin. He lets out this roar. The bats go and kind of tear at him as well. If you're done, we're going to move to Esteel.
Do I see, are there still wolves other than this big?
Yes, they are charging behind Xiv.
I will take out my crossbow
Okay.
and shoot at one of those.
You will attack with advantage because of the height that you've got. You've got a
Lovely.
sniper's nest.
She has the high ground.
She has the high ground, which always gives advantage. All right, what's the roll? 21 will hit, and with 9 points of damage, the arrow pierces down. You kill one of the wolves in stride.
Awesome.
Very, very good. Is there anything you want to do with your bonus action?
Check in with Baka. It would just keeping an on open communication. You okay?
I'm doing just fine. I don't know how much more I can do, but I feel okay.
Okay. Call me
Uh,
down if you need me.
Ziv, it is your
Thank you
turn.
for asking.
You have this giant thing in front of you.
Oh, nice of you.
You're still very angry.
I am going to try to just grab it to where it can't do anything. Like
Make a
super
grappling
hold.
check. Make a athletics check with advantage.
I have advantage on everything since I'm raging
Right.
with strength checks. So that is a 19.
You grapple it. You
Or-
go and you've basically grappled it to the ground. You are actually stronger and more powerful than this werewolf. You're holding it down.
Yeah, I'm just making it where it can't do anything.
Yeah, you've got him locked down. Now, he will be able to attack you with disadvantage, though. Is he basically going to kind of bite and claw at you while you're basically holding him down. And with that, Baka, it is your turn. You see Ziv grab him and kind of go behind him, and he is holding him down. And you
Full Nelson.
He's got him in the full Nelson.
Get the full Nelson.
Baka, I don't mean to interrupt. I just had a quick question. Would checking in with Baka count as an inspiration? Like if that's something
You can do that as a bonus action.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah. You get
What
an
is it-
inspiration dice.
But what does that look
Feels
like?
so inspired.
But how is that inspiring? How are you inspiring?
I thought with friendship.
Power of friendship.
Friendship is magic.
Inspired by friendship.
Friendship is
Give her
magic.
stare. Give her stare.
I thought
It's okay. But for future reference, I like to know how you're inspiring. All right, you just checking in with Baka makes him feel warm and inspired, and know that he's got a friend watching out after him. So Baka, you are inspired by your friendly neighborhood bard.
So inspiring.
So inspiring.
So inspiring.
That's great.
So I will go ahead and I will cast Mind Sliver on the thing.
Ooh, explain Mind Sliver.
It is a intelligence saving throw.
Okay,
13.
I rolled an 8.
Ooh. He will take 1d6 damage
Okay, roll
and
it.
subtract d4 from his next saving throw.
Ooh.
Yeah. 4 damage. 4 psychic.
4 points of psychic damage. Okay.
Yeah. And
All right.
then Baka will shuffle off into a corner and attempt to hide.
I like that a lot. All right. With this, you still have 2 wolves coming in on Ziv. The first wolf is going to run up and try to take a bite at Ziv. And he does.
Okay.
Ziv, you're very angry, and this will be half damage. So it's 6, so
3.
take 3. Take 3 damage. And then the next wolf runs up to bite at you. He does.
Mhm.
And this will also be half. So take 8, take 4 damage. All right, so the wolves are biting at you. You're still holding on to the werewolf with all of your might. What do you want to do?
Let's try to hit him in the back since I've got him full Nelson with the radiant beam.
Okay. All right, and what is my save for that?
13.
Is it con?
Yes.
I've been making my con saves. No, I don't. I rolled a 3. So he is
That lightning
blinded.
shot through his eyes, and he is blinded.
He is blinded by the light. He is wrestled
Wrapped
down by
up.
Ziv.
iOS.
Wrapped up like a douche.
Another runner in the night.
Okay. All right. So
That was my bonus action.
that's your bonus action. So now what do you want to do?
This might sound gruesome. I'm going to attempt to grab his upper jaw and his lower jaw
And try to like tear at it.
and try to Samson this thing.
Go for it. All right,
Yeah.
so give me an you've grappled him. You're gonna try to grab him. Give me an athletics check with advantage.
Don't stick your hands in a wolf's mouth. Come on.
Nope.
Well, it's opposed.
Oh,
So
You
12,
you try to go and grab it. It snaps at your hand, and you lose it for half a second. You're still grappling him, but you're not able to grab onto him like you wanted to. All right, with that, we're gonna go to Baka. You see them kind of like in this death wrestle outside. What do you want to do?
I'm kind of out of resources, so I will Mind Sliver again.
Okay. All right. So you reach out to Mind Sliver again, and it's an
Intelligence DC 13.
5.
That'll be another D6 of that sack of damage there. And it's going to be a 2 this time.
You keep racking his mind. At this point, ever so slightly, he's bleeding out one of his ears. And with that, we go up to the wolf, who is
When I
gonna
cast
reach over-
Mind Sliver, I say, be careful when you hoot, you just might poot. And it just confuses him and deals 2 psychic damage.
It does. He's totally confused by the reference. All right, so before the werewolf tries to bite poor Xiv here, what all is on him? He's blinded, so he gets attacked with disadvantage. Is that correct?
he's also disadvantaged anyway because I'm grappling him.
Yes, he's very disadvantaged. Does a 15 hit you?
Yep, armor class 15.
Armor class 15. So he actually managed to sniff you out and bite you anyway. It's only 4 points of damage. He kind of snaps at you, so it's 2 points of damage. You don't have to make a con save. And with that, we go to Darundal.
pull out another arrow
Okay?
and shoot.
Alright, make your shot with advantage. Uh, 24 is going to hit. So that is 5 points of damage. And then your bats.
Yeah.
Roll your bat damage.
Yeah.
Alright, so the arrow comes down, it hits him in the side of the head, the bats him at the same time. What does it look like?
Ooh, they just start feasting on him. Like picking his bones clean. The
When that
bats.
arrow hits, there's a moment where his entire body tenses up. Xiv, you feel it tense and then go limp as you just basically are just grappling this dead body to the ground that's just being torn apart by these bats. As soon as you do that, the wolves look around and they run off as soon as you drop him to the ground. And as he falls to the ground, you see like his form kind of start to turn back into what looks to be the man that he was prior to his transformation. And you look down at just this crumpled body with acid burn, blood coming out of his ears, arrows sticking out of him. And he looks like just a frail old man in this form.
Is that Alfred Hitchcock?
Baka, you look through and you realize that this is one of the stagecoach captains of your caravan.
Oh boy. Oh boy. He tore that poor boy to shreds.
And as soon as that happens, we look back up and we see Esteel. What do you want to do?
I would still want to pick off one of the wolves as
It's running off, take your shot with advantage as it's running across. Uh, 21 with 7 points. You do shoot it in this hind leg. It kind of drops and it's not dead. It's just down on the ground, kind of dragging its hind legs.
Can I get over to it?
You can.
Oh, I'm going to splatter it.
Still raging, you run over. You just see the blood of this wolf kind of running. You just run over with your giant maul and attack it with advantage.
If I can hit anything tonight.
You do. All right, so with that, you're going to bring the maul down and just crush the back spine of the wolf. It just yelps for half a second and it drops. So you look back at the werewolf that you wrestled to the ground. You look down at this wolf that you just completely tore apart with your giant Tesla coil maul. As you look around, you see other wolves in the distance running off to join their pack in the distance. With that, the encounter comes to a close as you look around. Xiv, you look and you're pretty beat up. You're just now sensing the what might be pain. You're a little curious what this feeling is. It doesn't hurt, but you do sense that you're in pain.
I'm going to take this opportunity to smooth my hair back into a presentable fashion and walk back towards the lighthouse.
You're no longer raging. You pull your hair back to look presentable. You throw your Tesla coil over your back, and you walk back in, gently pushing the beam down as you walk back in. You see a slightly mauled turtle friend, looking at the bloodied arm of the wolf. You see these bodies of wolves at the bottom of the tower. And as that is happening, what is Darundal and Esteel doing up top?
In my head, I'm gonna say, Baka, can you come down and help me down?
Sure, I'll do what I can, little lady. And Baka will head up there and try and get her down from her roost.
At least try and catch me, make my drop a little.
Okay. As they are scampering down to the bottom, Darundal, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go climb down the side of the tower and just look around, make sure there's no other wolves around. Look at the tracks.
You track. There was another 4 or 5 wolves that were circling about that ran off, but they seem to have gone off and back into the wood. So you spend some. Is there anything else that you want to do as you're tracking? Are you hurt?
Just barely. I will find the nearest animal.
Dead wolf.
Does it have to be alive?
No.
I'm gonna put it up to my mouth and.
So you reach over. You grab one of the dead wolves, and you say, and in the darkness you look around, and kind of all right, pull back and roll your healing.
It's a D4. Let me see. Make sure. Yes, D4 plus 1.
Vampires gotta eat.
Yeah.
All right, so you pull the essence of the wolf in and get your snack. You kind of wipe your face clean, and then you walk back in. At this point, the party reconvenes at the bottom of the tower. The 4 of you have met. You kind of hunker down here for the night as the storm, the squall kind of comes through. And the thing is now, Esteel, you look out and you recognize this man as well. It seems his name was Jackson. You remember he was one of the head of the caravan?
Do I see or sense anything?
No, you don't. You don't sense anything. Actually, give me an Arcana check.
Oh, no. That is a nat 1.
Nat 1. You look around and you don't sense anything. As you're doing that, Xiv, you look out into the ocean and you see a familiar face to Esteel's back. As you look out of the ocean, you see something hovering over the ocean, and you see Nalessa is walking about across the ocean rocks.
I'm going to make my way that way.
You walk down to the beach shore, and Esteel, what are you doing?
I'd probably sit down to heal up.
Okay. Now, the way that healing works is that you can heal a number of hit dice that you have according to your level. So you have 2, so you can roll that much.
Okay. 2,
So as you,
what are they?
Is it D8s for bards?
D8s. I think so.
Can I try to help her with herbalism? Or medicine?
Well, I'm definitely rolling 2, because that was a 1. That'll be 6.
6, okay. All right, so you sit down, you kind of take some bandages and try to fix some of your wounds from the slashing marks. As everyone else is reconvening, Xiv, you walk down to the beach. You see your friend Nalessa coming towards you, and I didn't have this last time, but I wanted to give you a clear vision of what Nalessa looks like.
Is she speaking to me?
She does. This ghostly spectral figure on the beach looks out at you, and you hear this voice says, "You must hurry. You have been You have been cursed, my love.
By what?
And that is where we will pick up next week as we continue our Ravenloft campaign. With that, the light of the orb flickers and closes. The lights of the tavern come back up as Marcus Madmore has finished his tale this week, and he looks and goes, "Oh, thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and be sure to pay your hostess on the way out, and come back next week for our next chapter of this tale. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
All right. So thank you so much. So next week we'll keep up with the next chapter of Masters of Dread.